Welcome to the Commissioner's Corner. I'm not going to go through the matchups this week because there weren't very many close matchups aside from the Skip versus Brian shenanigans that I will talk about. I'm going to take this time instead to talk about the median rule change, which took this week of non-competitive matchups and gave us an exciting Monday night finisher. There were at least 3 teams fighting for that 6th spot, and I started the night in 6th, and then because of some Jahmyr Gibbs touchdowns, Jeff jumped me to get into the 6th spot. Then out of nowhere, Paul came from 8th to 6th with a 70-yard touchdown for Jamison Williams. Then Jeff answered right back, going back into 6th, and then Paul finished it off with a Sam Laporta dump down to maintain the 6th spot and come away with the point. Not competitive matchups, but still a very exciting end to the week. I was hesitant on this rule change, but I'm all for it from here on out. Now again, that one matchup that was close, in the stinkiest of garbage time touchdowns, Skip comes away with the win. And he wrote how it took him a little bit of time to understand what happened to get him this win. Let me explain it to you. The Titans were up 12 with 30 seconds left, and they decided to run the ball on 4th down to Tony Pollard, and he scored a touchdown, jumping Skip over Brian and getting him the win. I'm not sure what analytics they're reading from that say to run the ball on 4th down, up 12 with 30 seconds, but Skip was the beneficiary of that decision. He always seems to be involved in these crazy Monday night endings, and he comes away with the victory this time because of it. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, unrelated to the matchups, just poor managerial decisions in the Yorktown Bros Fantasy League. And we're going to start right here in the same game. Now, Skip did win because of something ridiculous, but Brian probably could have just won by himself if he made some better decisions. Starting Zach Charbonnet over Rico Dowdle and Chase Brown, questionable. Chase Brown would have gotten him the win over Zach Charbonnet. Now, I understand. It's hard to start a guy named Chase Brown because of our personal history. I completely get that. But I don't think Zach Charbonnet is the answer. Also, might be time to fade on Derek Carr. He started off hot, but seems like it was not sustainable. Jordan Love on the bench with 28 points. Could have gotten him the victory here. Next up on the to be judged list are the Priors. Now they benched Jaden Reed, who had 24 points, but they have some other wide receivers and running backs in that same tier. I can't knock them too hard for that one. What we're going to talk about here is George Kittle on the bench and Brenton Strange being in the starting lineup. I read a lot of fantasy football content. This is a name I have not come across. I had to look this guy up because I was like, he has to be a JMU alum or some history with the Commanders, but no explanation as to why this man started over Kittle. That's strange. The only thing that makes that easier to swallow is Ryan's managerial decisions. This man started Carson Steele over Kenneth Walker. That one decision, just start Kenneth Walker over Carson Steele. Immediately, Ryan goes 2-0 this week instead of 0-2 and finds himself at 5-3 in 3rd place in the league. But no, he started Carson Steele. Not only that, he's just hoarding Jaden Daniels on the bench over here, number 1 quarterback in the league, not even starting him. His bench scored more than his starting lineup, and that's with Raheem Mostert not even playing. Bad decision making. Now on the flip side, got to give a shout out to Zach, who had the only 100% perfect starting lineup in the league this week. I've mentioned numerous times about him starting the incorrect wide receivers, but he cracked the code this week. 100% lineup, 2-0 on the week, takes him to 1st place in the league. Good action on the waivers. One side note, Kelsey's doing like 9 days, so I don't know when you'll hear from me again, but I'll see you then on the next Commissioner's Corner.